Good afternoon, everybody. Unfortunately, I'm not coming from the happiest place in the world, Disneyland. I'm actually coming from my desk. This is a bit of an update for those employees rather than employers who may be thinking what's going to happen with this JobKeeper payment. Employees will receive a notification from their employer to say that the employer has registered them for the JobKeeper payment. And at the end of that, that's probably about the extent for most employees that they need to know about. However, there's some additional obligations, and I should just point them out so that as an employee you're aware of it. Employees who have multiple employers will have to make sure that the one that's paying them is the primary employer. Employees and Australian citizens, they'll need to tell their employer, and the employer will be obligated to work out whether they're eligible. And employees on receipt of income support, so I guess at Centrelink, will have to also inform the various authorities of the new income. Okay, so you've heard yesterday the PM announced that they're going to give this payment. It's actually a subsidy to keep you guys employed by the employer, and in my case, we've got lots of small businesses. So it's a $1,500 per eligible employee from the 30th of March for a maximum of 6 months. Okay, eligible employees will receive a $1,500 payment per fortnight before tax. If the employer wants to pay superannuation or the other bits and pieces, that's up to them to pay the difference. Okay, full-time, part-time employees, including stood-down employees, will be eligible for the JobKeeper. Whether they're a casual employee, and they've been with the employer for 12 months on and off, they'll also be eligible for the payment, and it's open for self-employed. Have a look at the previous webinar last night that I mentioned about self-employed people. Employees will be able to receive the payment in a number of ways. If you receive the $1,500 per fortnight before tax, you'll continue to receive regular payments according to the workplace agreements. So the JobKeeper will just help the employer subsidise your wage. If your ordinary income is less than $1,500, you've actually got a bonus because they have to pay the minimum of $1,500 per month, per fortnight before tax. If you've been stood down, your employer must pay you the minimum of $1,500 per fortnight. So this probably answers the questions we've had. Do you mean have to go back to work? Well, probably not. If you're a gym and you're or a cafe and your employer's closed the business, you'll still receive the $1,500. If you're employed on the 1st of March and you subsequently ceased employment and re-engaged with the same employer, you'll receive the $1,500 minimum as well. If you're receiving payment somewhere else, you've got to tell your employer, and the employer will tell you if they've registered you on your behalf. That's a bit of an update. Just before we head off, just letting you know this is not legislated, so there's still some devil in the detail to come, but at least we're giving you a bit of an idea of what's going to happen. Hopefully your employer can register you and at least cover you off for some of their wages. So the trick's going to be that if you're on a reasonable wage, then they may not have the capability of being able to do that because they've got to pay for the rest of other $1,500, and also they've got to prove, and this is unknown yet how that's going to take place, that your employer has faced a 30% reduction in their income. So there's a few little hurdles there, but I'm just giving people an update because we've had lots of questions today. Get out there and enjoy the sunshine tonight or this afternoon before we have to wind our clocks back for daylight savings, and stay strong, and we'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.